Imagine having a product that could change lives, but nobody remembers your brand. Nobody remembers your product that can change the lives. Nobody remembers you. It's exactly where this health tech company started, and here is how they turned things around. There was this health tech company that made a pretty amazing product. Let's call it a wearable device that helps people track their health in real time. The problem is that nobody could remember the brand. They had a great product, and they were getting just lost in the noise of the market. General noise, right? There's lots of wearables out there. The CEO knew something had to change if they wanted to stand out. They needed to become more than just another tech wearable company. They needed to become a proper brand with a product that people recognized and trusted. What they decided to do is focus their marketing efforts on enhancing their brand recognition. The first thing they did was tighten up their brand. They created a consistent visual identity with logos, colorways, fonts, that sort of thing. They used it everywhere. They used it on their website, their packaging. They used it on their social media. You name it, they used it there. They made sure that whenever someone saw their logo or their signature color, that it was consistent everywhere you went, and that you would immediately think of the company. There would be that immediate association, the way that a swoosh is associated with Nike, the way that the silhouette of an apple with a bite out of it is associated with Apple, and so on and so forth. After they did that, they got their messaging straight. They got serious about fixing their messaging, making sure their messaging was on brand, making sure that their messaging was consistent across the board. Instead of just talking about a few features of the product, what they started to do is tell stories. They shared real life stories about people who use the product, about how those lives were affected, about the results that people saw from using the product. And the stories weren't just about selling the product. Stories were about the people whose lives were changed by using the product. They were about that connection between the product and the people. It was about building a connection with the audience too, because the audience gets to watch these stories, listen to these stories, and you're affected by that when you see this. This is why we go to the movies. This is why we watch movies, because we connect with the people on the other side of the screen. They didn't stop there. Also focused on being visible where their customers were, meeting their customers where they were at. They ramped up their presence on social media. They started a blog with health tips and that sort of thing. They even launched a podcast where they talked about the latest in health tech. They weren't just pushing their product, but they were becoming a trusted source of information in their space, in their industry. Between podcast, blog, social media, they were becoming a trusted source where people would go for information around their expertise. All of this, of course, served their product. That's how they got their expertise. That's where they showcase their expertise, is through their product. So what they did after all that is they got creative with some of their partnerships. They teamed up with popular fitness apps on phones, both iPhone and Android. They integrated their devices' data with the apps and the phones. They made it easier for users to track all of their health data in one single place. This partnership, it boosted their visibility and it added real, legitimate, measurable value for their customers. So as a result of these efforts, the brand recognition skyrocketed. People started to remember the name, they remembered the logo. Most importantly, the impact that the product had or could have on their lives. The company went from being just another tech company to a household name in the tech space, in the health tech space specifically, right? In the wearable space. With that, let's talk about some of the things that they did and what we can take away from that. Number one, consistent visual identity. The company made sure that their brand was instantly recognizable. They tightened up their visual identity. They used it consistently across all channels. And number two, they did storytelling, right? They didn't just talk about the product. They told stories that connected with people, that connected their current users with the would-be users, with their prospects. The company became more than just a product provider. They became more than just a commodity. They became a trusted source of information by being present where their customers were already present. Number one is consistent visual identity. So the company made sure that their brand was instantly recognizable by tightening up their visual identity and using it consistently across all channels, online and off. They didn't just talk about the product. They didn't just market the features of the product. They started to tell stories that connected with the audience on an emotional level. It connected current users to would-be users, to prospects. It connected the brand to prospects and to their current users as well. Everybody's seeing these. They had visibility where it matters. The company became more than just a product provider. They became more than just a commodity. They became a trusted source of information by being present where their customers and where their prospects were already present, by meeting their market where they were at, by meeting their customers where they're at, by meeting their prospects where they're at. And finally, they partnered with well-known fitness apps. They partnered with apps that were already present and widely in use and widely downloaded on both iOS and Android, which not only increased their visibility, but it also opened up their product to new potential customers, to new prospects, right? And it added real measurable value to their current customers who were already using it, right? So what this story does, it shows that enhancing brand recognition isn't just about having a good logo or a catchy slogan. It's really about creating a brand that people remember because it connects with them on a deeper level. So whether it's through consistent branding or storytelling, being where your customers are, or strategic partnerships, right? Any of these strategies can really help your brand stand out. So what I want you to do is think about your own brand and ask yourself a few questions. Is your visual identity consistent across the board? Are you telling stories that resonate with your audience? Are you visible where your customers spend their time? Asking yourself these questions can help you develop a brand recognition strategy that really makes your brand unforgettable. If you're struggling with any of this, if you're struggling to get your brand noticed, I'm here to help. Reach out to me. Let's chat. I'll buy you 14 beers worth of my time at no cost to you. It's a half an hour on Zoom. I've got nothing to sell you, and my only goal here is to simply provide you with some actionable value that you can apply directly to your business. You can hit me up on LinkedIn or reach out to me on my website. That's michaelpacheco.co. And hey, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, drop a comment, let me know what resonated with you. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, a review on your favorite platform would be awesome. All of this helps us reach more folks, reach more businesses, and help more businesses. And that's really the whole point of this. In the meantime, I want to thank you for doing what you do and for all the contributions that you're making in the world with your business. As ever, I'm Michael Pacheco. Until next time, cheers.